comes to Walpole with a strong coaching resume. He was once an assistant coach to Dedham High School boys varsity coach Ed Hickey for 3 seasons and was part of 2 straight Marauder Bay State Conference Circuit Division crowns and Division III South Sectional title in 2005. Gallivan also coached the women's team at Framingham State College for 4 winters from 1999 to 2003, leading the Rams to an ECAC tournament berth in his first year at the helm. Prior to Framingham State, Gallivan served as an assistant to girls head coach Laney Clement Holbrook at Oliver Ames. Hoops are in the Gallivan bloodlines. His dad, Charlie, was a Hall of Fame coach at Hyde Park High School for over 30 years. His brother, John, is the head coach at Stoughton High School, while his sister, Tricia, was once a head coach of girls basketball at Mount Alvernia. Gallivan is a middle school teacher at the William Barton Rogers School in Boston. He lives in Walpole and is married and the father of 3 children. My colleague Rick Brown and I sat down with Gallivan in the locker room after his team's first scrimmage Monday with Dover Sherborne. Coach, the circumstances of your appointment as the new girls head basketball coach comes with a lot of scrutiny. What are your thoughts about being thrust into this type of spot?
Most coaching changes come with a lot of scrutiny these days. Almost every coach does not leave on their own decision. My father's a Hall of Fame coach in Massachusetts, and he's been removed from 2 positions, which we like to remind him. Every coach I know either leaves because they're not, things weren't going well, or in the good situations, they're moving on to what they consider a better job. The last time I stepped in to replace a head coach, Sarah Bain had left to take a Division II college position when we were at a Division III school. And a lot of the kids had been recruited by her and were excited to play for her. And when I ended up taking over, they weren't as excited to play for me, but we ended up having the best season in school history. So it all worked out.
Jim, I understand that you have coached at both the college and high school levels. How much of a difference is there between the 2 levels?
I don't think people realize exactly how good the Division III level is. I've seen a few of my nephew's games this season already on the men's side, and in my 4 years on the women's side, most of the good players, and we were probably a top 20 team in New England, and most of the players had either starred or been a very important part of a state championship team or at least a state finalist team in Massachusetts. All of our girls were from Massachusetts. I saw something on the internet the other day that said every high school team should be brought to a Division III level game just to show the players exactly how intense and how talented Division III basketball players are. It's any 500 level team in Division III should be able to beat pretty much every high school team, except for a high school team that happens to have a couple of superstars on it. But the level of basketball at Division III is much higher than even a top conference like the Bay State Conference or the Hockomock League.
Coach, I know as a new head coach, the team will be built around the players you inherit. You have 2 returning starters in Summer King down low and Julie Moser at the point. Can you share a little bit of what you've seen so far? How complement those 2?
Both players are hugely important to us. Summer King is used to playing, she played with 2 great players last year, Lauren Bowden and Bridget Nicholson, who was MVP of the Herbert Conference in the league. So it allowed her to be one of 3 players that you can count on offensively. And now we're at a point where she has to step up, and for Summer, taking 10, 12, 14 shots in a game last year was fine, but we need her to take double that. And that's a lot of pressure on a junior, but I think she's definitely up to the task. And Julie has started as a sophomore, is a good point guard. She's very tough defensively. She does a great job of distributing the ball, but she's also going to be asked to add a little scoring to her job responsibilities this year. And the more that they can do for us offensively, the more opportunities our other players on the court are going to have. And definitely have some kids who can definitely take advantage of those opportunities.
Lainey Clement Holbrook is a legend in girls' high school hoop circles. How long did you work with her, and what did you take away from this experience?
I worked with Lainey for 7 seasons. I was with her for 9 years. We taught together and coached together across 9 years. As far as legend goes, she's only won 600 games. So she's only 600 ahead of me at the girls varsity level for high school. I took away from Lainey the idea that preparation is key, and you're gonna play like you practice. And if you practice poorly, chances are you're going to play poorly. And if the practice isn't intense and the kids aren't forced to make pressure situations in practice, you're going to see that type of performance in the game.
Coach, last question for me. What's the most important thing that people will take from the Jim Gallivan coach team as they walk out of the gym after seeing you and your team for the first time?
I would like to think that we're having a lot of fun out there, because my idea of fun basketball is a lot of defensive pressure, a lot of turnovers, easy baskets. I've always believed in the first team to 100 usually wins. So I like scoring points. There's no one on my team who will think to themselves, like, I'm not sure if my coach wants me to shoot. I definitely want them to shoot. The only time I tell them they're in the game that they can't shoot is if they're inbounding the ball.
I think I'll end it with this. Jim, you've got 3 children at home. Do we have any future Rebel athletes in that group?
We've got a few. My son is playing his team, his 3rd grade team, won their first game Saturday night. And then I have a daughter in 1st grade who likes to come up and shoot around with the high school girls. And I have a 3-year-old who she's into soccer right now just because she can't reach the basket. But they would like to be Rebel athletes. I'm just a little concerned about how I'm going to deal with their mother if they're not started.
I see.
That's my big question. How do I deal with the mom?
Coach, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck this season.